Good evening. Now let's start our talk show, episode 93. The only things that stand between you and your dream is the will to try and believe that is actually possible. It's a beautiful quote quoted by Joel Brown. So, with this quote, I would like to bring our talk show name Conversation with Consultants with episode 93 of our guest talk series. Good evening, everyone. I am Rima Kumari, ECR coordinator of SKANG, and I am your host for today's talk show. Before I begin our talk show, let me briefly introduce SK Associates and Group. We are an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under the MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. Our mission is to provide consulting service to student entrepreneurs globally, covering areas such as compliance, operations, marketing, research and development, human capital, strategic, and operations. Our passion lies in helping these budding entrepreneurs bringing their dreams to life and contribute to global economics growth. Entrepreneurship is a catalyst for change and innovation. It's a powerful force that can reshape industries, transforms lives, and make the world better place. We are committed to supporting student entrepreneurs on their journey, equipping them with the tools, knowledge, and network they need to succeed. Now, before I begin our show, let's take a moment to introduce our guest for today. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome Coach Anjana Mishra Tripathi, founder of Shift to Lift, to this special event. We are truly honored by your presence today and we are delighted to have you here in this talk show to share your insight with us. We would like to start this interview with our first question for you. What's one things you want to be remembered for?
Okay. Um, Hi, Rima. Thanks for having me over. I love your energy. Hi, everyone. So, when you ask me that what is it that I would like to be remembered as or like to be remembered for, see, I would be happy if everybody remembers me for the fact that they were not the same person after they had a conversation with me. Something shifted, maybe a decision, maybe the lens of thought, maybe the dimension of perspective that they had, maybe the filter through which they were looking at life. Something shifted, so they became a better version, slightly better version. At least some change happened, however minuscule change happened, but it happened, a shift happened. So they were not the same person after having a conversation with me, and I would be I would be glad to be remembered that way. Yes.
Nice. Moving with the next question. What's the biggest decision you have ever made?
All right. So the biggest decision was I will never allow myself to be in the comfort zone. There was a time when I used to think that everything should be okay, hunky dory, everything should be prim and proper, and things are going on well. Why to disrupt? Why to disturb? But then there came a time after which I decided that no, if I keep keep myself cocooned in my comfort zone, I was not growing. I was stagnant. I had become stagnant. So nothing was happening. I was not going forward, no progress. And therefore, I decided that this is the decision that from today onwards, I will do something, at least one thing that is scary, that is uncomfortable, that doesn't seem easy, that seems difficult for me. I keep avoiding that, but uh, comfort is not the place for me. So it comfort kept coming back to me with its convincing, uh, convincing notes and convincing aura. But I have always chosen that comfort should be avoided, and I should always be outside the comfort zone, however scary it seems to be. Yeah.
Great. Moving with the next question. What's the thing that makes you feel most alive?
Okay. I would say, Rima, as of now, if you ask me for the current timings, what keeps me alive and ticking is, of course, direction coaching. As mentioned earlier, I'm a multiple award winning and India's only internationally certified direction coach. And, when people come to me, when my clients come to me from all across the globe and they say that this journey, showed us life in a different light. So it was like we had a six-story building inside us, and we were using only one story of that entire building. We didn't know the potential that we had, but you opened up windows, you opened up doors, and showed us that, these are things that are possible. So we saw possibilities, a plethora of options that we could explore. So this is what keeps me alive. When people say these things that, Coach Anjana, you just changed my life. You changed the way I viewed life. So these are momentous occasions for me. They keep me alive and ticking and driven towards my work.
It's great.
Yeah.
Um, Moving with the next question. What's the one things you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Oh, that's a very that's a very enticing question, I would say. Um, So I would be moving if there's no failure that I see. Anyway, failure is redirection. I would like to, reorganize. I would like to expand my horizons in terms of the avenues that I explore. So bigger rooms, bigger audiences, more diversity, more diverse audiences that I speak to, that I coach, that I empower, that I impact. So I would like to keep doing what I do, but with expanded horizons.
Okay, moving with the next question. What's the biggest lesson life you taught you?
So I'll keep coming back to whatever I have discovered during the course of my life, my experiences, my challenges, my trials and tribulations, my wins, my hits and misses. So whatever is that, the lesson is that, you don't know what you can do. You are limitless, but you are the person who thinks, that this is all that can happen. I cannot do more than this. So you are the person who is limiting your capabilities. Otherwise, if you remove those blinders, if you remove those limiting beliefs, I'm sorry, at the risk of sounding cliched, I'm using this word, limiting beliefs, which is so common and cliched these days, but yet people will understand, hence, I'm using this word, that limiting beliefs are within you. We call them in coaching lingo, we call them N codes. So replace the N codes with the help of E codes. They will not happen overnight. So, our coaching procedure, which is a 5 to 6 step procedure, very scientifically structured system that tells you how to replace the N codes with E codes. They are not affirmations for sure, but they are something else. So that's something that I would say is the mantra for moving ahead in life.
It sounds good. Um, your next question is, how do you want to live your life?
Come again? Come again, please. Can you
How
repeat?
do you how do you want to live your life?
Okay. I would. I'm doing that, and I'd further like to do the same. I'd like to live life on my own authentic terms. Earlier, I used to be a people pleaser. I thought peace comes from being on good terms with everyone, and I used to adjust, I used to compromise, I used to sacrifice. But now I've understood that this is not the way to peace. The way to peace is being honest, being authentic, being original. And yeah, so that's exactly what I believe in. And now it's given me a whole lot of clarity towards life. And that's what I'll keep on doing. And that's what I've, right from the time that I started changing people's lives. I'm not saying overnight change, magical change. No, no, no. It's always a team effort between the client and the coach and the corporate and the organizations that I've worked with. So it's like that, Change comes, and change is often slow, but change comes. If it's a two-way street, it's a team effort, right? So that's the life that I will continue to live, of course, with expanded horizons.
Nice.
Yes.
Your next question is, what's one things you want to achieve before you kick it?
Okay. So, Rima, I'll be very honest with you that there are a plethora of things that I want to do before my time comes to an end. So right now I have transcended borders. I'm coaching people all over the globe from all age groups, doing what I felt is my calling. It's my heart's calling. I really enjoy doing whatever I do. And I want to impact and empower more and more lives, because people nowadays, uh, everyone needs direction coaching. People set goals. We don't call it goals anymore. After I became a coach, I call them outcomes. But people set outcomes, people set goals, but they don't have the proper map to travel and achieve those outcomes. Most of the time, if they have a map, it is somebody else's map or something that they have seen succeed. Rima, you must understand everybody's GPS is different, depend upon the personality type. It depends upon what personality type you are. So your drive comes from somewhere else. My drive necessarily doesn't come from the same place. I don't decide the way you do. So we have a personality assessment for that. So that's what I say, that everybody's personality type is different, the way they think is different, the way they make decisions happens to be different. The My motivation comes from a certain place, your motivation will come from another place, my son's motivation comes from an entirely different place. So uh, I think I have answered that question with clarity. uh, what was the question? Can you please repeat?
So, ma'am, what's one things you want to achieve before you kick it?
Yeah, so I would like to do more of whatever I'm doing. I have a system, and it's a scientifically structured system. So before I my journey is done, I would certainly like to document everything in a book. I'm in the middle of authoring my first book. I know it's taking some time, but I'd like to do that, and I'd like to impact as many people of as many diverse groups as possible before I before my time comes to an end. So I'm in a hurry actually, because I know everybody needs coaching. There was a time when I said I don't need coaching. I have so many donkey years of experience in front of me. I have so many certifications. But I'll tell you what, I was asked some really pointed questions, well defined questions. And then I questioned myself that, yeah, so do I really need coaching? So then I realized the power of coaching, and it changed my outlook towards life. So this is something that I'll continue to do, but with as many age groups, as many people, as many souls, as many women as possible, as many men as possible, as many youngsters, school going children, Gen Z, millennials, retired people. Yes. And I'd like to document everything in my book.
It sounds good.
Thank you.
Moving to the next question, are you living your truth?
Okay. Can you just elaborate on this question? What is it exactly that you mean to ask with this?
Ma'am, according to your coaching, you have start your business. So,
Yes. Yeah, so when you ask that, are you living whatever you thought you planned? Is that what you're asking, or you about my dream
about your ma'am career, ma'am.
career? Okay, so I'll say, I'm a work in progress. When people look at me, they say so many certifications, 2 decades of cross industry experience. Now, personalized coaching, customized client coaching, customized corporate development coaching, all of that, and you're doing good work. Fantastic, Coach Anjana. But there is this quest inside me. There is this soul inside me that says that I've got so much more to do. I've got so much more to do. And so I would say that yes, part of whatever I'm doing is my dream, but there is so much more to do, so much more to, I won't say achieve, but so much of people to, so many people to impact, so many more people to impact. I can see people suffering as in not making the right decisions. They can do a lot more. For example, I'll give you my son. He is currently working in, he pursued higher studies in Australia, and currently he's in a full-time job. I can see that, he's not utilizing his fullest potential. He's capable of so many things, so many things. He's good with sports, he's good with his work, he's received such good appraisals. He is doing well, touch wood, financially, but he can do a lot better, lot better. He can excel at what he's currently doing. So I keep pushing him, and sometimes he moves into his comfort zone. But I always say comfort zone means dangerous. Comfort zone is not the place for you. So keep reinventing yourself, keep rediscovering your capabilities. What more can I do? What are the avenues that I can explore? And I can see he can explore lot many avenues. He's good with finances, which at one point of time he thought he wasn't good with maths, and therefore he won't be good with finance. But now he's doing fantastically. So people have to grow. First, the intention should be there that, you know so many things are there to explore, so many things to do. Why am I stopping here? I've got to do so many other things, and I'm capable of so many other things, right?
Yes, ma'am. Great. Moving with the next question. What's the one skill you want to master?
So, Rima, when you say skill, um, the ask acronym of ask. A stands for attitude, S for skills, and K for knowledge. So, what I believe is skills and knowledge, S and K, can be developed. But people, when people have the, kind of a different kind of attitude towards life, that's where it's very important to show them that have a growth oriented attitude, have something, have a filter that says I'm capable of much more. Don't stop at the winning post. I've seen people achieve such a lot, yet there comes a time when they say, this is it. I've achieved, my journey is over, I've arrived, I've become famous, become wealthy. But I've seen the different kind of people also who don't stop here. The celebration doesn't stop here. Now they're asking, what next? What more can I do? How much more can I do? How much of value addition can happen towards myself, towards others' lives, right? So the skill would be that for me, if you ask me, keep reinventing yourself, and that's something that I'm doing daily, Rima, daily. Every moment is a moment of growth for me because my mentor, Mr. Arfin Khan, if you've heard about him, he's the mind hacker coach, the globally acclaimed mind hacker coach. So he said, do something scary, do something that makes you uncomfortable, do something that makes you, that you find tough. Do one thing that you find tough every day. And once you do that successfully, your day is successful. So you have conquered one fear, you have conquered one difficult task, right? So that's a skill that is very important for everybody, not only for me. And I have decided to, keep growing with each passing moment. And one of the moments is this podcast today. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. It sounds good. Um, your next question is, what's one things you are grateful for?
So, Rima, there are so many things, innumerable things that I'm really grateful for. There are many things that people take for granted, and the COVID, the pandemic, taught us that when we have food on our tables and when we have clothes to wear, when we have air to breathe, uh, when we have limited resources, we don't have domestic helps, then also we can manage, then also we can survive. The pandemic taught us to be grateful for so many things that we had taken for granted, didn't we? We had taken for granted that my domestic help will come daily. I'll always have food on my table. I'll always have money in my bank account. I'll always be able to go to school or college or university. I'll always be able to go to office and come back from office and get a salary at the end of the month, whatever. But then the pandemic taught us to be grateful for what we have, and say that these things are not to be taken for granted. For me, if you ask me, I'm grateful for the way you know life's experiences taught me that challenges are not exactly challenges. Challenges are actually opportunities in disguise. Challenges come to your life to make you grow. I have grown with every challenge. I've successfully tackled the challenge, taken the bull by the horns, overcome most of my challenges. And once I overcame those challenges, I understood that so this is how I have grown, this is how I have developed, this is how I've pushed the envelope further. So during the pandemic, just a small example, during the pandemic, all my training and coaching sessions, they moved from offline to online. I'll be very honest with you, Rima. I didn't know a thing about Zoom, about Google Meet, about MS Teams. And when I used to coach abroad, they were using WebEx. I didn't have a clue. I wasn't that tech savvy. And I felt very uncomfortable. I said, it was everything was hunky dory. I was so comfortable. I was successful, doing everything so well. Now, virtual training means I had to learn so much of new technology. But I learned. And, these are serving me well today. These are helping me out in my work. I can do more work now. I can do more quality work now. My volume of work has increased. So, isn't that a blessing? First, whatever I thought was a challenge is now I can understand was actually an opportunity. Correct.
Nice.
I
Your
hope.
next question: what's the biggest lie you have told yourself?
Oh, that has to be the biggest lie has to be that, um, I told myself earlier that keeping everyone else comfortable will keep me at peace. But today I know better. So there was a time when I kept adjusting, compromising, explaining, sacrificing, um, keeping quiet, thinking that's what balance looks like. But even in small things like saying yes when I actually wanted to say no, it looked like harmony, it looked like balance, it looked like peace, but I felt like, I felt tired, I felt mentally exhausted. Then I saw it clearly that peace doesn't come from becoming a people pleaser. Peace will not come to you if you try to please everyone, all the people around you. It comes from being honest. And that kind of honesty, even if it makes people uncomfortable, I mean, if it makes uncomfortable, if there is a little bit of disturbance, I won't call it disturbance, if it shakes up things a bit, you know, but still you're honest to your own self and not seek external validation, but have self validation. That's when I felt at ease. So that was the biggest lie, that please everyone, keep everybody in good books, try to adjust with everyone, you know, get along with everybody. That's a lie. Be honest to your own self. And we call that inner DNA, baselines. Everybody's inner DNA is different.
That sounds good.
Thank you.
Moving with the next question. What does success look like to you?
Living life on my own terms, something that I'm doing today, and yet being known for adding value to people's lives. I'm living life on my own terms, but when somebody has a conversation with me, when somebody comes to me, when somebody has even a casual exchange of words with me, when they leave, they said that we are feeling much lighter. We have more clarity on things now. I think once we have more conversations with you, Coach Anjana, we'll gain more clarity on our career, on our relationships, on our health, wealth, social life, parenting, tackling our children, guiding our children. Retired professionals say that now we have got so much of clarity. So for me, that is success. I'm living life on my own terms. At the same time, I'm empowering the lives of so many people. I'm giving them clarity, providing clarity. That gives me immense satisfaction, and that is what, according to me, is my success story. My success story. My.
Sound good.
Thank you.
Your next question is, what's one things you want to create?
As in, as in.
As in your career, in your future,
Hmm.
future life upcoming.
So, Rima, I've already formed something of my own, a coaching system of my own known as Shift to Lift, right? Wherein we show people, put them through some very scientific tools and techniques so that, they come to know where they were like not doing the things that they are supposed to do in order to achieve their outcomes. So, and as I said, some people didn't even know that they could write a book, they could move mountains, they could travel abroad, they could buy a house, they could have increased sources of income. They, some people didn't even know that I can have a second, a third, and a fourth source of income. I'm good with this, and I can be better with this, and I can be the best with this. So people are not aware, because everybody's DNA is different. First, they should know their own selves. At one point of time, I also thought that I know myself. I know who I am. I know myself inside out. But after I became a coach, my perspective changed. It went through a 360-degree sea change. And I understood that, this is how the future should look like, that I'm growing with each passing moment, with each passing day. I'm expanding onwards and upwards. So why not share this with people, because they also are in the same kind of shoes I used to be some years ago. Today I'm doing things that I never imagined I could do. For example, documenting everything in a book, or writing a book, writing fiction. I never thought I would be doing. Perhaps that is taking a little bit of time, but this was never a possibility I had dreamt of. So this is something that I am looking at with a lot of expectation, anticipation. Some people say, that I'm retired and I want to enjoy life. Don't want to work, right? I'm not saying that's wrong perspective, but again, I think it's time now for exploring some other things that they could not explore. Maybe their hidden talents, something that they had always wished they could do, but they could not do because of a 9 to 5 job. And there are people that I'm coaching right now, there are clients who said that I didn't know I could do this. I never thought I could do this. I never imagined I could do this. I never had a vision. My journey was from here to here, but you have made me travel from here to some other point. Now I can see so many things that I'm capable of. So my future is also like that, showing people their capabilities, showing people the different verticals of work that they're capable of, and also rediscovering my own verticals, the different verticals, that I'm capable of. So I never thought I'll be, achieving LinkedIn top voice batches. I never thought my LinkedIn profile will be decent. I used to see people write posts and I used to be very impressed. But today, if you ask me, I mean, LinkedIn has given me a lot of strength. I've earned 7 LinkedIn Top Voice batches. I've been awarded with the Nari Shakti Award and so many other awards. I've been featured on magazines as India's top icons, top one of the top icons, one of the Indian achievers. So I never thought I was capable of all this. So I think I'm going to add on to my shelf of awards. Maybe that is not the goal, but these things are byproducts. Money will be a byproduct. I'm chasing excellence. I'm chasing brilliance. How to do my work better. Money is going to come via as a byproduct. Money and recognition, they happen to be byproducts. They will come if you keep on chasing excellence, keep on growing. Your vision. They will be byproducts.
Great. Your next question is, how would you define yourself as a leader?
As a leader, I would say that my biggest leadership quality is when I stop being a leader and I create more leaders like me. And my people, my team members, they stop depending upon me. I know these lines are very common on LinkedIn these days, but they have a lot of weight. Most of the leaders just write posts and say they provide lip service, but at ground zero, on ground zero, you see very little happening. You still have that sir, madam, and that subservient attitude. But it's like I always feel I'm not a leader if people around me, my team members, are not growing. Then what is my leadership skill all about? I am a true leader if I can create more leaders like me.
Nice. Your
Thank you.
next question is, what has been your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
So, Rima, first and foremost, I would like to deviate from the word failure because it has got a very negative connotation to it. Uh, I have had lots of failures in my life, but I do not look upon them as failures now. Now, at hindsight, when I look back at life, I feel that, they were like, part of my success story. God was preparing, the Divine One was preparing for me, Destiny was preparing me for the success. Because if I had not been through those kind of failures, then I couldn't have reached a point wherein I would be able to empower others and build up stories, success stories for others. So there have been multiple failures. Of course, the biggest failure, I will not say, the biggest, lesson that I learned from one experience was that, I used to be a very introvert person. I used to be a very shy kind of a person in school, all throughout school and college. But I'll not go into the details. But due to some personal circumstances, I lost my father pretty early on in life, and that made me an extrovert because I had to come out, deal with the situation, support my mom. That is not certainly a failure, but uh, something that changed me. you know it's a defining moment. I'm just rephrasing your question, just reframing your question. So I wouldn't like to use the word failure, but it has been a defining experience in my life that now I have to go and stand in front of people, I have to speak something that I thought I was never ever capable of. I always thought that public speaking is not for me. I am not made for public speaking. Public speaking is not made for me. Today, when my mother watches pictures and videos of me standing in front of so many people and conducting training workshops, corporate training workshops, corporate coaching workshops, coaching people and professionals across the world, she actually doesn't believe. She refuses to believe. So I will like to rephrase your question a bit, Rima, if you don't mind. Just reframe to that failures are part of success and they show you that you are capable of much more. Don't stop here. Discover what went wrong. Discover how differently you could have done it. And this time, decide to do it differently. Decide to put in more of hard work So whatever I said was not is not a failure story. It's just an experience that changed me. It's not a failure story. My loss of my father is beyond my control, but it changed me. It became a defining moment of my life.
Great. Your next question is, you need to break the rules if you want to success. Do you agree with this statement?
I'd like to answer it in a different way. I would say yes, at times, and not necessarily. It depends upon the situation that you are in. You know, sometimes you have you heard of this proverb of this adage? Rules are made to be broken. Whenever there are some rules and regulations, they are made so that they can be broken. Just like records. The you have those races. You have where sportsmen keep breaking the records. In cricket, also, everybody thought this is the one thing that Don Bradman has done. Score so many centuries. Nobody can break that record. But someone from India did break that record. So records and rules are made to be broken. It's only when you break the rules. So I'm not I'm not instigating people to break rules everywhere. So supposing you break traffic rules, there that is not done, na? That is not success. That is something that is illegal. So as long as you are doing things legally but doing things differently and trying to challenge the status quo and say things that every time why should the company have the same system, the same way modus operandi, the same way of working. Let us explore different angles. Let us brainstorm different ways that we can handle the same problem. 10 years ago also we were doing the same thing. Now also, I mean, if we do the same thing, then where is the growth? There's no growth of the company, there's no growth of the people, the team, the leaders. There's no growth. Let us find new ways of doing so. So my answer is sometimes you might have to break the rules, but if you ask me about rules which are legal, of course you should not break. But yeah, I mean, some of those rules which are, you know, redundant in 2026, the rules of 1970 or 1980 or even 1990 or even 2000, they need to change. They need to change.
Yeah, great. Your next question is, what's one things you did say to your future self?
Okay. My future self. So first and foremost, I'd like to pat my back and say that it's been a long journey. It's been a good journey, but certainly not the best journey. If you think this is the best, finished. Your journey is over. People say you're the best, you're rocking, you're a rock star, you're doing so much, and this, you have been nominated from so many people from all over the world. Recently, I became the finalist in Women Changing the World. From so many countries, women from all over the globe participated. I have become the finalist. They will, announce the winners later on in April. But becoming a finalist among so many people from around the globe is in itself a huge win. Huge win. So if I say that, okay, now it's over, I mean, Anjana has achieved everything, it's time for her to take rest. That is where I'll go wrong. I'll say that if I'm capable of this, I think I'm capable of much more. I keep saying, and I keep saying everywhere, that the best of Coach Anjana is yet to come. I'm not flaunting, I'm not being arrogant, I'm not being, a braggart, but I'm still saying that people do tell me you've achieved such a lot. I mean, how much, great way to go. I mean, great going, way to go. And do you plan to achieve more? I said, why not? Why should I stop? Because I now understood that this is not my best. People are saying this is your best, but I know I can go beyond the best, better than the best. The best test, 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 test.
Nice, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is your last question. Um,
Yeah,
what's
sure.
the next step towards your dream?
The next step towards my dream would certainly be look at people of especially Gen Z. Especially Gen Z, I found is there is a lot to learn from Gen Z. Lot to learn because they are certainly doing things that we never did. Certainly thinking in ways that we never thought back then. Back then. I never thought, but I find the young people, the Gen Z, doing things that we never thought, of doing at such an age. So I would certainly like to say that you're doing good. You're doing some of you are doing better, but some of you are doing best also. But you can do more than this, much more than this. And we have a structured system known as Shift to Lift. We have software powered tools and technologies. Go through them, see how your life changes. If you're expecting a quick fix, sorry, it's that is not a quick fix. Coach comes in, you come in, I show you the system, put you through the system, you obey the system, you stay committed to the system, do as per what the system demands of you, follow the system, have faith in the system, and then see how the world opens up in front of you. As I said, you're using, I will tell Gen Z that you're using only particularly the Gen Z, I'm saying for every individual, whether it's a retired professional or an 85-year-old individual, respected individual, or a housewife, homemaker, somebody who wants to do something, or uh, it's a child whose eyes are full of dreams, or it's a mother planning to start something of her own, any age group, any gender, but particularly Gen Z, I would, say that wake up. This is just the beginning. Whatever you have achieved is just the tip of the iceberg. If you stay committed to our system, you can, move mountains. You can become unstoppable. Sorry for the cliched word. You can become unbeatable, unshakable. Challenges will be there. But challenges, do you know what they are? Challenges are opportunities that come in the disguise of challenges. They are actually opportunities in disguise. So recognize that challenges are not come, they have not come here to disturb you or disrupt your life. They have come here so that you can grow, so that you can step out of your comfort zone, learn more, upskill more, expand your horizon, have the growth mindset, think more, think differently, and have more possibilities. If today you have 5 possibilities, if you take up direction coaching, you will have 5 million possibilities right there in front of you. And then you will think, oh my god, I was doing only 5. I am capable of 5 billion, 5 million things that I can do, and I have everything inside me. Yeah. So this is something that I am certainly going to do. But I have said Gen Z in particular, but this applies to every individual, male, female, whatever age group, every individual. Today I'm telling my mom also, who is 78 years old, I'm telling her also, time for a new beginning. She's about to start a new YouTube channel. She is a bit reluctant. Oh my God, will I be able to? I don't think at this age it's over. My story is over. But no, I said that look at the possibilities. Look at it, what you can do.
It
So
sounds good.
thank you.
Moving ahead, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Coach Anjana Mishra Tripathi for being our guest for today at Conversation with Consultants. Your presence and engagement helped to make this event successful. Thank you providing insights into your exciting journey. Further, we would also like to thank our audience for listening patiently throughout the event. Thank you everyone for joining with us today and hope that everyone gained some knowledge from this event. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that our next episode 94 of Conversation with Consultants will be soon. We hope to see you all there. Thank you, and we look forward to reconnecting with you again. Do subscribe our YouTube channel and follow us all social media handles to stay connected with us. Goodbye and have a great day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rima. Thanks for having me over. It was wonderful speaking to you and a very refreshing experience. Thank you so very much. Keep rocking.
Thank